What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Post to Post podcast. Today is Friday, April 9th. We are recording episode 20, and we have the NHL trade deadline fast approaching. April 12th is the date, and we already have some movement around the league. What's the big one this week?
Big movement. Huge movement. Kyle Palmieri and Travis Zajac to the New York Islanders.
Big names.
Huge.
Those are like two of the top names on the Devils, I would say.
Massive.
Like this is the equivalent of them shipping Subban and Blackwood. You know what I mean?
Easily. It's like, holy shit.
That's
I didn't
like
expect
their
this
frontline
at all.
scoring.
We were just saying by the deadline day is when everything big happens. And then this happened this week, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, so this episode will be coming to you on NHL trade deadline day, but we won't be able to cover anything after today, which is Friday the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sucks.
Yeah. So the Devils traded Palmieri and Zajac to the Islanders in exchange for a 2021 first-round pick, AJ Greer, Mason Jobst, and a conditional 2022 fourth-round pick. For anyone who doesn't know, a conditional pick is when you make a trade and then agree that the draft pick will change based on the performance of the player or team, which I found interesting.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool way to flub a trade a little bit. You're like, yeah, I'll take this guy, but I'm only taking him if he puts up 15 points for me, and then I'll get this draft pick. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's nuts.
That's cool. AJ Greer, former Avalanche player, has been playing for the AHL the past 2 years. The 1920 season with the Colorado Eagles, and this year with the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, posting 1 goal and 1 assist in 10 games.
Woo, hot. He's got the hot stick.
Big guy. And then Mason Jobst has yet to play an NHL game, also playing for Bridgeport Sound Tigers this season with 2 assists in 7 games.
It must be on the same line.
Even hotter. Even hotter. Fourth line, baby. Oh, Jesus. And then we got Travis Zajac, 7 goals and 11 assists in 33 games this season, and Kyle Palmieri with 8 goals and 9 assists in 34 games. The Devils retained 50% of both Palmieri and Zajac's contracts in the process, meaning they keep 50% of both players' pay and cap hit. The cap hit really is a big thing with this happened a few years ago, right? Where in the trade deadline, we're like, no, we'll take his cap salary too.
Yeah, it's a huge benefit because the Devils are giving away their 2 top players and retaining salaries.
Yeah.
That's kind of nuts. You don't usually see that.
No.
What I think this is leading to, I think they're going to make a blockbuster trade with Buffalo next.
Yeah,
they're going to take in maybe Eichel, Hall, Brandon
Skinner.
Montour, someone like that.
Yeah.
Skinner, yep. Someone from the Buffalo Sabres, I believe, is going to wind up here because they now have no offense in my eyes.
Nothing.
I don't know. They're going to need some forward help
So
here.
they're definitely making moves, but we don't know what.
I think this is half of the trade. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? There's
right.
another shoe to drop.
Exactly. There's another whole process. We're probably going to see it this weekend or Monday, right?
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Monday's the busy day, I'm pretty sure, right?
And if not, man, holy shit. What is this?
What are they tanking
Who
for?
are they doing this for?
Oh, what did I see? Oh, man, there was a hashtag, something for Hughes. It was tank for Hughes. Oh, it was lose for Hughes because it was a rhyme. I thought it was hilarious.
Lose for Hughes. Beautiful. So, how fucked is the East right now?
It's wild right now, man. I mean, there's the men and the boys, honestly. There's just a big separation gap. We have the Islanders with 56 points, Caps and Pens 54, 52 respectively, the Bruins with 48, and then everyone on the outside looking in has 42, 41, 34, and 24 points. So, I mean, you could see who's making playoffs and who's not unless someone gets hot at the right time,
Right.
you know?
I mean, Palmieri, Zajac, 2 veteran guys. 2 guys you want on a team going into the playoffs.
To the Islanders, who are currently 7-3-0 in their last 10 on a 4-game win streak.
Right. Unbelievable.
Damn. They are going to be a strong
shit.
pick for the Cup.
Right.
But I said it was a lock in our text. I don't know if I would anymore. The Stanley Cup is the one trophy where you have to be hot at the right time.
You never know.
Who knows if the Islanders are too hot too early, you know?
Yeah, we talked about Tampa Bay getting swept by Columbus that year.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know.
Exactly. Coming in as the lead dog might not be a good thing.
And I'm telling you, too, we've already made, I wouldn't say mistakes, but we've already thought of wrong teams. That who are we saying right now, 10 episodes ago, that it was I think we were saying the Bruins are going to be first in the league.
Yep. And the Panthers were really hot for a second.
I was Nashville's going to be up there, and it's completely fucking flipped.
Nashville, though, we'll get into them later. I think 9-1-0 in their last 10 3-game win streak. That's kind of impressive.
That's very impressive.
Still, actually, they just passed into the looking at the playoffs now.
They
In
can
that
do
fourth
it.
seed.
I want to see him win a cup, man. I really do. You don't want to?
I do and I don't. Like, I think the city of Nashville deserves it. I think like I would rather see like the Tennessee Titans win a Vince Lombardi trophy in the NFL. But I do like the Predators a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, talking about actually, you know what I want to add to that too. We talked about that again episodes ago about who do you think is gonna be in the Stanley Cup playoffs or finals. Who do you think right now? And like top. What am I gonna try to say? Like who do you think is gonna at least get to like their Eastern Conference Finals?
All right, conference finals in the East.
Yep.
I'm gonna take the Panthers. I think the Panthers will get it done. I think they're gelling really well right now, and I think they have potential to get hot at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of the East, that was the Central. Out of the East Division,
Yep.
I think the Caps will do it. I don't think the Bruins have impressed me as much lately in general. They're 6-2-2 in their last 10.
They fell behind.
We're gonna talk more about their goaltending situation, but
Right.
I think the Caps have just been consistent all year long. You know, I think they've just maintained. Like the Islanders kind of came out of nowhere. The Penguins, we haven't really talked too much about the Penguins. I don't really know what's going on
They've
there.
been falling apart, yeah.
But they're third in the East right now. So I mean, who knows? And then in the West, I really do think the Avalanche are gonna make it there. Like I don't see any issue there.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about Grubauer. He's leading the league in shutouts. Great goalie, man. What is he in wins? He's leading in wins too, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go over that later on
Yep.
too. Grubauer's like top in the league with stats and stuff. And then the North Division, man, that is gonna be a dogfight. But I don't think the Leafs are gonna make it, man. I think it's hilariously funny, and I don't think they're gonna do it. I want to see Edmonton. I want to see Edmonton and Colorado in the. Well, we also don't know how they're breaking it down once the top 8 teams are left in the league. Remember,
Right.
So the North is playing until there's 2 teams left, as well as all the other divisions.
Right.
So we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
But what do you have? What do you see in the conference finals?
So conference finals, I will say the Islanders will push. We're going to see them in these conference finals at least. We'll say the West, I do want to say, I think Vegas Golden Knights definitely going to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
North, I think I'm going to really. You don't say Toronto, but I'm going to say Toronto, and
They're hot, man.
They're hot.
10-0,
They're
right?
hot as
Or
shit.
no, that's Jack Campbell. We'll get a name later.
And then for the South, who are we talking about? We were talking about Carolina.
Carolina's
They're
hot.
coming up big. Yep. So I think I'll say Carolina.
So you kind of just picked all the hot teams, right? Who'd you say in the West? You said the Avalanche?
No, for the West I said Vegas Golden Knights.
Golden Knights, okay.
And then Toronto.
You picked the top of every division, and then the Vegas Golden Knights are second.
I'm telling you, man.
That's funny. That's just, it's like, that's exactly what I see too, but that's not how the Stanley Cups works. You know what I mean?
It's not.
It's like anything can happen. This is the one trophy that anything happens in the playoffs. Anyone can take it.
Right.
You see 8 seeds upset 1 seeds all the time, you know?
Like if Ottawa randomly just like became.
I mean, think about it. Like, if they won the rest of their games, they would still not make the playoffs. No, but looking at like St. Louis, like they were dead last in January the season that they won the cup, and they flipped it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it literally can be anyone's game up until playoffs start, and then from there it's just a dogfight. It's all about health too.
It's a beautiful dogfight too.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Like, and it goes by like players that are willing to play, like players who just like broken knees. Like,
So
you
wrong.
hear about this at like the end of like Stanley Cup Finals, where like these players are just playing with like broken jaws and like bones and shit. Just like, oh yeah, I'm pushing through. Like, you got to have those kind of players.
You want to
on your
hear
team.
something funny about like pushing through and the Toradol talk that we had a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
My brother sent me, our producer Billy, sent me a video of Peyton Manning interviewing Marshawn Lynch. Like, oh, what's your pregame warm up, pregame ritual? This is in the NFL. He's like, man, I make sure I take 2 shots before every game. He's like, 2 shots of what? Gatorade? Toradol? He's like, no, man, Henny. He's like, you just keep a bottle in your locker? He's like, no, it's in my backpack, man. Marshawn Lynch is a legend, dude. I love that guy. Do you know him at all or no?
I don't know.
You got to look up Marshawn Lynch videos. He's the funniest dude in the NFL.
Oh, really?
He was like the ace running back in the league. He's awesome, like one of the best players.
Just
so one game, he's
down
a
2
savage.
shots of Henny.
Yeah, he's a savage. He got kicked out of the game. I forget why. He got ejected from a game. Goes into the stands and sits with fans and just slams beers, like partying with them. And he got fined by the NFL for it. But he's a legend, dude. You got to look up his videos.
That sounds
awesome.
like another Rob Gronkowski. Like, I'm not into football, but like Rob Gronkowski has done like a bunch of shit like that.
Yeah, he's a big party animal too.
Yeah.
It's so funny, man. I love the characters that you can find in these leagues.
I'm gonna have to look that up. That's hilarious. Imagine slamming like Henny before going into a game. Actually, speaking of alcohol, you know when during the playoffs, like if players are just like really just like, you know, you get like anxiety and all that shit, they keep beer like behind the locker.
Remember the picture of the Tampa Bay Lightning? There was just a cracked Bud Light
cracked
on
Bud
the bench
Lights,
where you would put the waters.
Just relax. Yep. So that's
So
pretty
funny.
cool. I'll be some Jameson in the back, like, but you're a
Jesus
goalie.
Christ. There goes your reaction time. Right out the door.
Right. So speaking of New Jersey Devils, Jeremy Brodeur, the son of Marty Brodeur, made his AHL debut with the Binghamton Devils this week. He stopped 47 out of 50 shots for a 3-2 loss. That is a crazy amount of saves for an AHL debut.
That's insane, dude. That's like what me and you face on a regular night.
Yeah, first period. That's insane, man. So, congrats on Jeremy Brodeur. I've actually been following Jeremy Brodeur for a while. And it's because I follow Marty Brodeur and he tagged him. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And I was like, oh, it's his son who plays goalie too. And
it's
I was
pretty
like,
cool.
Sick.
The Devils actually let him draft him too. Go up and announce that they were drafting his son.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Martin Brodeur got to announce that they were drafting Jeremy Brodeur.
You think Marty's like training him?
Oh, absolutely. I bet he wants to be his father. You know what I mean?
Oh,
But
hell yeah.
not gonna happen, pal.
Not going to happen, buddy.
So,
calm down.
While we're on the topic of the Devils too, some guy Nick tweets at the Devils, Holtz baby, play that kid, you morons, at NJ Devils. And that must be some prospect for the Devils or something, because the Devils responded on Twitter from their actual account. Dear Nicholas, while we appreciate your inquiry and interest in our overseas prospects unavailable to play in our lineup, your inability to properly upload a profile photo, a mirror selfie in 2021 no less, has disqualified you from internet opinions moving forward. Thank you.
Get fucked.
Just absolutely destroyed this man. Like, I think it's so funny that he reached out and tweeted at them to play a kid that is ineligible to play in the NHL. Like, way to go, pal.
And
Nice,
they took
good
the
call.
time to be like, no.
We're burying this
kid's
guy.
life.
There you go. Sit.
That's fucking hilarious. So moving on from, oh my God, that's fucking, I'm going to have to, I'll try to take that tweet and put it up on like Instagram or something like that. So moving on to that, Canucks with the conundrum.
Oh, I love it, dude.
You
Way
love
to
it?
go.
Wow.
I didn't even write that one down, dude.
On the spot.
That was nails. Good job.
Canucks have 21 players test positive for COVID-19. 25 people together, 4 of them being staff members. The NHL has postponed 6 games through April 12th as of now. The Vancouver Health and Club Contact Tracing staff have found it's the COVID variant, and they believe it was obtained in a community setting by a single individual. So all it took was one guy for this to spread like a
That's how it works.
wildfire.
And that's like, I forget what game it was a couple weeks ago we were talking about. Only 2 players were deemed to have like contact.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But they postponed the game because of those 2 players, and you were like, why can't they play? It's just the 2 guys. The contact tracing and
Right.
stuff. Like if the Canucks went on to play, now the whole other team they played against is now screwed because of the one player.
And it
You
just
know,
spreads. Yeah,
It's
you're
crazy.
right. That's nuts. So Daryl Sutter voiced his concern, saying the biggest problem is that these players aren't getting the vaccines necessary to curb the spread. 20 players is almost the whole team. Where does this go from here for the team? I don't know. But we did say they will be back maybe April 12th.
Yeah,
right?
April 12th is the next scheduled game right now. It hasn't been delayed, so that is Monday when the episode's going to drop. They should be playing the Edmonton Oilers that night.
That's a lot of players to go down, and then all of a sudden be like, all right, all of you guys back.
Yeah. And they're planning to finish out 56 full games by the end of the season before playoffs start.
That nuts.
Yeah, that is crazy. And I mean, the worst part of it is that it don't matter. They're not going to be in the playoffs. They could play their games while the playoffs are going on against some other team sitting on the outside looking in.
Got to add Holtby to the list. We'll be talking about soon. Actually, it's the next topic we'll be talking about with Jack Campbell here. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. I thought I saw 12. I'm like, 12 plays. Oh, well, that's a lot.
21.
Like 21.
It started slow and kept going, and I heard that like the symptoms were really bad, because it's a variant, and that their family members were also affected too, which is terrible.
Wow, that's awful.
It is spreading quite a bit. It's tough that it's a variant too. Like, I wonder if the original vaccine works against that too, where Daryl Sutter's stepping up to say something like that. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah.
But this also goes back to like way early when you were like, why can't they just give these guys the vaccines?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they're technically not essential still. You know what I
Right.
mean? So.
But now we're getting
weird.
them all anyway.
Yeah,
so.
it's hairy.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird.
The Johnson & Johnson vaccine, they're doing a bunch of testings like in Africa where the variant is. So I don't know if that will fucking help. With
I mean, it'll definitely help. I mean, that's how vaccines are developed, just more testing, and over time, the vaccine catches up to what the virus is. You know,
Right.
they're learning from it, and that's what science does, you know?
Right. So we'll have to wait for more news on this, and hopefully by April 12th, everyone gets back safe too. You never want to see anyone really get affected by this. And
another interesting part is COVID affects the lungs quite a bit, and these are professional athletes that need their lungs to perform at 100%, you know?
Yeah.
So I hope it doesn't affect them negatively on the ice.
Exactly. Moving on to something better. I wouldn't say that. I fucked that one up. Moving on to more positive
Oh, it's okay.
things.
This is better.
This is better. Yeah, you're right. So Jack Campbell with straight 10 wins. He set a franchise record for most consecutive wins by a Maple Leafs goaltender this week. He passed Felix Potvin, Jacques Plante, and Jim Ross Roach, who had 9 consecutive. Campbell joins Carey Price as the only goalies in NHL history to begin a season 10-0-0. Price set that record November 12th of 2016. Campbell this season has 1.57 GAA and a .944 save percentage, which is, wow.
That's hot.
That's hot.
So, real quick, who are the Maple Leafs goaltenders? It's
Freddie
Anderson,
Anderson, Jack Campbell.
and who was it before Campbell? Because he's only played 10 games this season, and Anderson's played 30.
I think Anderson's been playing like
Holy crap!
Yeah.
That's a lot of games.
Yep. I think Anderson's been.
There hasn't
playing
been a
like
third goalie in the mix.
I'm trying to think, man. Is it Mike Hutchinson? Is he in the? Is he?
It's not Adam Hutchinson, right?
No.
Okay.
Mike Hutchinson is the he's the right-handed goalie.
Okay.
I think so.
I can check it
can't
out.
remember.
Let me dig into that real quick.
I think he played a few games, and then Jack Campbell and Freddie Anderson's been like their top. Sorry, their main guy there.
We're burping a lot this episode.
I know, killing me. Jesus. Yeah, keep it going. Okay. So I was watching a video, and I was just telling Chris before we started this podcast that I found a video, and I don't know why the hell I didn't save it or put it on Discord, which is usually where we get all the content. It must have been just like I saw it, and I don't know. Anyway, there's this coach. I can't remember his name, but he started a goaltending school in Vancouver, and there's a video of him talking about the Matt Murray situation in Ottawa. And I learned a lot through what he said, and weeks ago when I was talking about Matt Murray, I was one of those guys that just shat on him, man. Like, I was just like, I don't know what happened. I was blaming concussions. I was just saying, like, maybe his time in the league is done. And he said it's easy as shit to see Matt Murray just, not be good and just blame him on just, that's it. That's his career. But he goes, goalies like that, goalies like Matt Murray, they're bred from a team. Like, so when Matt Murray came in with the Penguins, they have a certain style of play that they want their goalies to, be a part of, like to be contended with. So they train him to work with it. So say if the Penguins are an offensive team, you're going to train your goalie to, work with an offensive team.
Yeah, and part of that is I think like what I read from this is if they're an offensive team, your play is to get the puck to the corner and keep the puck live and moving. If we're a defensive team, cover that puck up every time and force a face-off and let's break it out of the zone.
Right, exactly.
Different play styles, things like that. There's a lot of small things you can change in your game to work better with a team.
Right, exactly. So throughout the year, especially for NHL goalies, man, you're constantly practicing. It is just constant practicing to the point where just like you don't think about it. You just do it. It's secondhand. And he was explaining the Matt Murray situation where he went from Pittsburgh in the years of training for that to Ottawa, which is a total different team than Pittsburgh, and everything he's learned from Pittsburgh is instilled in him. So he's playing like he's still in Pittsburgh when he's not. He's in Ottawa, and he said you're seeing it where just like it's not working. But he goes, you do see goalies where that style of play that they had on a different team comes in perfectly on another team. And so, like, you're seeing it in a bad situation with Murray, but he brought up Holtby, where Holtby's having that same issue coming from Capitals, because he's been on the Capitals for, I think, longer than Matt Murray's been on the Penguins. So, like...
Oh, absolutely.
So he's instilled with, like, how the Caps play, and now trying to go into Vancouver and be like, oh, I got to work on almost... Not, I wouldn't say everything, but like a lot of like what I've been taught to do.
And I think the closest comparison for us bums that play in men's league is when you go to a game and there's like 12, 13 players on the bench. Like, you got plenty of time. You can play the puck and, work offensively to keep the puck moving.
Right.
When you pull up to a game and there's 6 guys, you have 1 sub, like 5 guys on the ice and 1 guy on the bench.
Get ready.
You got to cover the puck. You got to cover the puck every time, because that gives them more time to rest and get some breathing room.
You're constantly changing.
Yeah.
And that's in that sense. And for the Jack Campbell situation, I was watching him too. I don't think he's changed much after leaving LA. Like, he has like the same like kind of style. Like, I don't know how to like. He's another one like quick where you don't know. Like, he'll just come around and like pad stack you, and he'll all of a sudden be like paddled down while standing up and make the save. That kind of.
Yeah.
And like, he came over to Toronto and like kind of stayed the same, and it's worked for him. You see in this with a 10-0-0. So, with that said, like, as a goaltender in the NHL, you're I don't know. Like, if, as a goaltender in the NHL, when you get traded or look for a different team, are you looking for a team that's the same as what you've been trained to do on a certain team and go to another team where you don't have to move? Or
depends on what you're looking for. Like, some guys look to get traded for money. Some guys look to get traded to be in a better market.
Right.
Some guys look to get traded to, I don't know, a better locker room. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different things that you have to consider.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if that's something that they consider, honestly. Like, that's just something that I've never even considered, and now it's a serious thing. You know?
So that was interesting, and I love that kind of insider look, because it really kind of opened my mind to it. I was like, oh man, like, I was that guy just kind of shitting on Murray. Like, thinking just like he's trash, but like in reality, he broke it down and said,
yeah, but I also think that Murray is different than Holtby, where Holtby was playing well for the Caps all the way up to his trade, where you could see Murray's numbers start to dip off a bit with the Penguins. So, I mean, yeah, you can use that not necessarily as an excuse, but as a reason for why Matt Murray's game has slipped. But there's also the fact that, hey, he was slipping before he even left to go to the Senators,
Right.
So. The other thing I found here is Michael Hutchinson did end up playing 7 games for the Maple Leafs, 4-2-1. I don't know what happened that Jack Campbell got his start, but it's nice to see that 10-0-0. Like, Jesus Christ, that's phenomenal. That's wild, honestly.
That's nuts, man.
Like, Vasilevsky went 12 straight, and I think Fleury was on a hot, not necessarily streak, but he played like 14 consecutive games too.
Yep.
Not necessarily all wins, but just playing a lot.
On a win.
So that's cool to see.
That's awesome, man. Good for Jack Campbell. Like, holy shit, man. 10-0-0. For some reason, I thought I know it's a franchise record, but when you look it up, he's up there. There's to start a season 10-0-0. Like, I don't think Monty Brodeur.
It's another one of those
like
funky, dumb stats, in my opinion. Like, who cares if it's the start of the season wherever? If you're 10-0-0, you're 10-0-0. Like,
right.
I don't know. Some of these stats get too out of hand for me.
It does, because there could be random stats where it breaks down to one player from 1983.
Yeah. He's the only dude to ever do this.
Yeah.
It's like he scored twice on his forehand while on his left skate.
Yeah.
In one period. That's wild, dude. You believe that?
Crazy.
Only guy to ever do it.
Insane. What were we talking about? We'll move on. It'll hit me and I'll talk about it. I did want to say something. I totally forgot. Random ass stats, same as shit as what we've been seeing all week. Where just I hate this, man. We're trying to keep up with the trade talk or whatever, but this week didn't something come up or I thought it was a trade for from Buffalo to somewhere else.
I sent it to you. It was a potential.
Yeah, it was a potential trade.
It was their 2 top players for the Devils, and it wasn't Zajac and the other guy that got traded, but it was Eichel and Dahlin, I think, right? Going to the Devils. Yeah.
And it was just a thought. It was maybe these guys we trade. And that's what's been going all week. Sick. I'm like, what's the point in this shit?
Everyone's just speculating. They want the clicks and the views.
Killing me. Anyway, so on the subject of goaltending, Swayman and Vladar in for Boston. I know we don't talk about Boston much on here, but it's funny because My uncle was the one that texted me about this last night. I was like, oh no, it's already a subject at hand. So Rask injured and Halak on COVID protocol. Halak actually tested positive for COVID. So Dan Vladar and Jeremy Swayman get the call. Jeremy Swayman made 40 saves in his NHL debut and picked up his first NHL win against the Flyers this week. Jeremy then got his second win last night against the Capitals with a 31 save performance. Oh man. Dan Vladar is 2-1-1 with a 2.25 GAA and .922 save percentage so far this season. Though Vladar is good, Swayman seems to be more positionally sound and quick on his feet. Halak's contract will be up after next season. Do you think Swayman or Vladar will get the backup spot?
So, the interesting thing to take into consideration, the end of this season, both Halak and Rask are up on their contracts.
Right.
The NHL Seattle expansion draft is also this season. They can select one player from every team, and each team can only protect one goalie, but you can't protect your only goalie that is on contract. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they have to have two goalies signed.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, they're going to let Halak walk.
Yeah, I can see that.
They're going to bring up Swayman, protect him, and see what Tuukka Rask wants.
Yeah.
See what happens in the market.
Because Tuukka already came out, and he was just like, I want to play here, and if I don't play here, I'm going to retire. Like that type of thing.
He said that?
He said that, yeah.
No. He's going to retire?
Yeah.
He's way too young to retire. And he's the third best goalie in the league.
Remember when I had the Tuukka Rask rant?
Yeah.
So he came out, and that's what they were giving him shit about. He came out and said, I want to play for the Bruins, and if I don't, that's it.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't believe that for a second. I think that is his way of covering his ass and trying to get the fans on his side.
Maybe.
I think that at the end of this contract, if the Bruins don't re-sign him, one, it's a financial look because they're paying him $10 million right now.
Right.
Third best goalie in the league. Fair. I mean, I don't think he's worth that kind of money. I think that's a department that you could save some money in. You let Tuukka and Halak go at the end of this year. You protect Swayman, sign him to short money because he's on his entry-level contract, and he's playing pretty well.
Right.
Find like a solid backup for him,
He seems wicked solid. Like positional-wise, like I've seen some of the like plays coming down the ice. I was like trying to put myself in like the position of the puck. I'm like, God, there's nothing to shoot at with him.
And I think like it's weird because we're in Boston. We talk them every week.
Yeah.
But I think the Bruins goaltending situation is one of the most interesting in the league right now.
Right.
So
both, I mean, yeah, right now, for sure, because Halak and Rask are both out.
Out with two young guys coming up. They can't take Swayman or Vladar yet because they have to have played 2 years in the NHL.
Right.
Or something like that. I forget how it's worded. So Seattle can't even take either one of these guys.
No. They're just up here just trying to hold on for dear life. And this is a bad time for the Bruins, too, because they're really de-escalating from like where they were. Like they're like one of like the tops in the
slowed
East,
down
and
for
like
sure.
they're slowed down.
I think they are one of the top teams to look at defensive options at the trade deadline. Like they need some defense.
Oh yeah.
I don't see them trading for a goalie just because they're very deep right now, but that's just me.
Yeah.
And I think if it's one of the two, it's Swayman over Vladar all day.
I'll take that. I got almost, I wouldn't say an argument, but like people were getting on me about Vladar because now I'm on Facebook. Some hockey thing posted something about Vladar, and people were just like, make him the number one goalie. I'm like, Vladar's not ready. If you watch him play, man, he just kind of like throws himself at it.
I don't know about not ready, but I don't think he's a starter.
No.
He's a decent backup. He's probably better than half the backups in the league.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
like,
he can't start.
Yeah, he's no way.
I think if you have, let's say, Tuukka and Halak both walk, if you have Swayman starting and Vladar as the backup, you're going to burn out Swayman. You know what I mean? Just like they've burnt out Rask in the past with having no decent backup,
Right.
So.
Yeah, you're right.
Too many games played, and then,
And that's another thing. Bruins have been like that for years, though. They always get like this number one goalie, and they're just like, oh yeah, we don't need another one. We'll just take some random ass.
Yeah. I feel like that is definitely true of the Bruins lately.
Yep.
In the years past.
So we're gonna move on from the Bruins there. I do think Swayman is better than Vladar, and I think I think we're definitely going to see Swayman mature in the AHL for the Providence Bruins, and then we'll see him up before I think we'd see Vladar up. But, anything could happen. Anything could happen. So moving on from the Bruins, Spencer Knight signed by Florida. We're going to talk about him last week, and we're going to move. We moved it to this week. We got more information.
I feel like last week we had like a lot of stuff to talk about,
Yeah,
but
we
we
did.
burned through it quick. So
Oh, yeah.
this was a good week to bump Spencer Knight and the hot Florida Panthers over.
Right.
You know?
Spencer Knight is hot, man. Holy shit.
Is he? You think he's sexy?
Yeah, I've seen him. It's nice. So Spencer Knight signed by Florida. The Florida Panthers signed him to a 3-year why did I say entree? Entree. Yeah. Okay. I'm hungry. Entry-level
awesome.
contract this week. The 19-year-old from Darien, Connecticut, just finished his sophomore season with Boston College last week, playing 21 games, 16-4-1 with a .932 save percentage and 2.18 GAA. That season, he ranked 5th in the nation for save percentage and tied for 5th in wins. He just recently won gold with Team USA in the 2021 World Juniors. He completed the World Juniors with a 5-1-0 record with 3 shutouts, 1.63 GAA, and a .940 save percentage. Wow. Those 3 shutouts marked the most shutouts by a U.S. goaltender during the World Juniors.
USA, USA, USA.
Knight was drafted in 2019 in the first round, 13th overall.
So high.
So
Don't you
high.
think?
So high for a goalie. Worth it, though. See those stats? I
We'll
just went
see.
through those stats. Is a
We'll see.
19-year-old? No.
Doesn't have anything in the NHL
18-year-old.
yet.
You're right. You're right, but he's a BC guy. Talked about this. So
Sit.
Spencer was just placed on the active roster this week, so we might see him play soon. I think Florida will just kind of throw him out there just to see, how he does. We've seen BC goalies come into the league right away and make a mark like Thatcher Demko and Corey Schneider. With that said, does Spencer come in and replace Dreger or Bobrovsky, or will he be maturing in the AHL?
So I think this is going to be awesome for the Panthers leading into the playoffs. You see a lot of teams around the league now dealing with COVID-19 protocol issues. So if something happens to Dreger or Bobrovsky, they have a solid plan.
Right.
A nice young guy to step in and see what he can do. I don't see him just coming in and being like, hey, Dreger, back up, or
skedaddle.
Bobrovsky, $10 million a year, take a seat. You know what I mean?
No.
I think it has to be a situational, we need Spencer Knight. It's not, we want Spencer Knight,
Spencer Knight's one of those goalies where just like, it's not like, no, it's like, no, we signed you for a reason. Like, we're going to keep you.
Yeah.
And he's already active, too, on the active
Do you
roster.
think he's going to be taxi squad?
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be cool, right?
They're going to push him to the tax squad for sure. And I think, again, we'll see him as, like, coming in. Like, if Dreger plays or whatever, they'll be like, no, give Spencer Knight
I don't know if you said it or not. Did you see, is he practicing with the team?
No.
Not yet?
Not that I know of. He was just active. I think it was just activated yesterday, so I don't know if he's playing with a team. I know in the taxi squad you don't play with a team.
Playing for the Alabama Gators. I just made that team up.
I think you just made that up.
It's the Florida Panthers AHL affiliate.
Sounds legit.
Alabama Gators.
Yeah, so Kazimir Kaskasuo, who we talked about, he's already discussed the taxi squad because he's in the taxi squad for Nashville Predators, and he goes, no, the guys practice, and then I go out there, and I guess like a handful of the guys come back out and like they do drills with him, but like
they keep him separate for the most part because
yeah, he's got his own
issues,
locker room and shit. One thing I found that was interesting was just like he's in the taxi squad, but he's like, yeah, I got to get ready for the game, but getting ready for the game, man, like he doesn't just sit there. Like if Pecorino and UC Saros like on the bench, what they do is the trainer comes with them and they do a workout while the game is in. So like,
okay,
it's like, oh, interesting. I don't know if just the Nashville Predators do that, but that was interesting to see. But
I like seeing the behind the scenes stuff. Like a lot of the teams play, I forget what it's called, but basically they just juggle the ball in a circle when they play soccer,
right?
Like before the games, and then whoever drops it is out of the circle.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
You got to sit. I don't know. Again, I haven't been in the garden, TD Garden for forever, but you know when you're going up the escalator to the balcony or whatever, when you go on the escalator, you could see a little bit, and I think you could see where like the locker rooms are, and like I think you see the away teams because I used to see like the Montreal Canadiens do that. There'd be like a line of them. Just,
Oh,
like,
that's
playing
cool.
the soccer,
That's cool. Yeah, the soccer ball keeps your feet like quick moving and gets the body going. It's a good warm up.
Right.
It's cool.
I've never done it, so I think I probably should start doing it.
I actually bought a ball so I can practice. I've been juggling in the backyard trying to get better at it. Yeah, I told you 0-20 on the soccer team. Not a big deal. I was on the soccer team and I was trying to get better at that initially, and then Luna ate my soccer ball, so I had to buy a new one. Luna's my dog for anyone interested. She's free if you want her.
And it just makes sense. Yeah. Like below, we'll raffle her out.
Yeah, it'll be the first giveaway for the podcast.
Just
a
Luna.
dog. Later.
Poke a few holes in the box and be like, all right, see you later.
Shipping you to Canada.
So moving on, we're just talking about Spencer Knight coming from BC. Now let's talk about the UMass Minutemen. They move on to the NCAA championship game Thursday night. So last night for us, the UMass beat Minnesota Duluth 3-2 in OT.
Minnesota Duluth is a legit program. They are in the Frozen Four like every year.
Right.
They're awesome.
Minnesota's like a hockey state to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Big state.
The 3 M's, it's Michigan, Massachusetts, and Minnesota, 3 biggest hockey states in the country.
Right. And they definitely proved it because UMass was outshot 36-15 in regulation. They were like constantly on the offense in that game. UMass goalie Matt Murray, not the Matt Murray we were talking about.
Maybe
Matt Murray.
Maybe that's where Ottawa sent him down to get some warm-ups in.
Go back to college, buddy. Coming up big with
Get
36
my
saves.
GED. Sorry.
I'm trying to think of a good GED. Yeah. GED in college? You can even do that?
No, it's a high school thing.
Oh.
It's like instead of a high school diploma, you get a GED.
CED.
He's playing for Massasoit.
So they go on to face St. Cloud University this Saturday, which, this will drop fucking Monday.
Tomorrow for us, 3 days ago for you.
Yep, and you will probably know who wins that by then. We might talk about it next Friday.
I think Cole Caulfield is playing in the Frozen Four as well. I think his team made it. I forget who he plays for though.
You know what's funny? If you look up the UMass Minutemen, there's a bunch of like names there. They're like, oh, she must be related because there's a Kessel in there, and no relations to Phil Kessel at all.
Yeah, that's interesting.
There's like a Doc, and I'm like, ooh, Kirby Doc, no relations at all.
Wow, that's funny.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Speaking of Kirby Doc, he was looking good in the game the other day. There were a couple highlights with him and Kane.
Who was going back to New Jersey? Who was that goal man? I can't remember who the life of me was. It was New Jersey versus someone, and he came across the goalie made the pad save, but on his ass he was able to like still get the.
They're playing against the Predators, I think, right?
Was he?
I feel like the Predators goalie had the left pad up against the post, and then went with the glove, got a piece of it, and it still went in. Are the Preds even in the same division? You dumb shit! Oh my god, it wasn't the Preds.
As you were talking, I'm like, no, I'm going to let him keep going. Because that also,
dude, you're bringing something up that I have no idea about. I saw the video.
Yeah, but no, you said something completely different than what I thought. It didn't hit the glove at all. Like it hit the.
It did a little bit.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, you got.
And then it fell down. Oh, okay, all right,
yeah,
cool.
It went in.
Yeah, that's quite crazy.
Yeah. Was it Zajac? It might have been Zajac before the trade.
Well, I feel like it wasn't. I don't know. We'll definitely have it down here, but
yeah, we'll both look like idiots down below.
Yeah, both idiots. Billy put like idiot here and like idiot there. It just makes sense. The Bozo to Bozo podcast.
Yeah.
On the subject of college hockey, though, UMaine coach passed away today. University of Maine's men's hockey coach, Dennis Gendron, unfortunately passed away today. Coach Gendron was on a golf course this afternoon and had a medical condition and passed away. He was 63 years old. He's been the head coach since 2013-2014 season for University of Maine. Notably, he was the assistant coach for Maine in 92-93 when they won the national championship. He was also the assistant coach for the New Jersey Devils back in 94-95 when they won the Stanley Cup. He spent 11 seasons in the professional hockey with the New Jersey Devils organization, got 3 NHL championship rings, and has his name engraved on the Stanley Cup twice. We offer our condolences to his family.
Yeah, UMaine's a very solid program, and especially over the last 10 years, they've always gotten better.
Right.
I mean, picking up a Stanley Cup winning assistant coach is huge.
Right.
That's awesome. Like, good for him. He lived a good life, and strong hockey player. That's cool.
For New England Senior, I've skated with a few of the UMaine players. It's kind of like they're really fucking good players.
Like
too.
past players.
Yeah, past players.
That's cool.
Like they still have like this gear. Like I mean, that's what they do.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
how many times you've seen college guys just
college bags, right?
Yeah.
You know, I love that. Like I wish I played for a team, but I'll just drink beer instead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's my stinky Sox jersey. Sorry, Pete. I'm gonna have you on soon. So Ottawa Senators with goaltending coach changes. Pierre Gruel was reassigned to scouting and development. Zach Bjork named new goaltending coach. Bjork has a short career as an NHL goalie. Why am I having an issue with these papers today, man? It's because we started so early. Is that it? I'm blaming that. His last game was in 2003. His career record was 47 games played with a .920-5 record. I mean, he came back in 2017 as the Arizona Coyotes goaltending coach and serving as the goaltending coach for their AHL farm team. Is Ottawa trying fucking anything at this point?
Honestly, like you could say that, but obviously the goaltending coach that was working with Murray, it wasn't working. So It makes sense to make a change and do something different. You can't really look at a player's career and determine how good of a coach they're going to be. Mm-hmm. There are coaches out there that were terrible players, but they know the game so well that they could teach it to someone else. Right. And then you have players that are the best in the world at it, but they couldn't coach for shit. Look at like Patrick Waugh when he was the coach for the Avalanche. He lasted like a season and a half.
Right.
Best goaltender in the world. Right. Can't really coach a team. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
They're not something that's mutually exclusive. So where you could be the best in the world at doing it, you might not be able to teach it and control a whole team of players that can do it. You know what I mean?
Right. No, that makes total sense. Total sense. Because we just talked about the Boston Pride winning the Isabel Cup last week, and Paul Maher, who played for the Bruins and a few other teams, was just an okay player at best, and he's the coach for the team, and they won the cup, man. So like, I don't know, maybe coaching is just his thing, and
yeah, it's interesting to think about all the moving pieces that you have. Like you start with the team, you have the goaltender, the two defensemen that start, the forwards, and then from there you even have like the guys that are the trainers, the equipment managers, you have the coach, the assistant coach, the GM, and then the owner. Like all together, they have to all combine and just work properly in order to win a cup or win whatever the trophy may be. You know,
right? You just got to do what you got to do, man.
But it's a very fluid machine, and it's not always just this guy lost 20 of his 27 games. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's different.
It's more than that. I'm just saying, though, when I was looking him up, there's just nothing to him, man. Like, usually when you look up at least someone, there's, like, at least they have, like, a backstory, whereas this was just, like, 4 lines.
Yeah. That is kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I don't know. Do we chalk this up as a loss for Ottawa's season? Are they going to fucking, like, rebuild?
Absolutely. They're looking to get something out of the draft and continue to add to the young roster that they have with Jimmy Stutzel.
The Stutes.
Jimmy Stu.
Love that guy.
Legend, dude.
Speaking about Stutzel, since we're pretty much done with this.
In my pants.
So, speaking about Jimmy Stutzel, did I tell you Mark Savad has a YouTube channel?
No, I didn't know that.
His thing now is, like, doing hockey tape jobs.
Oh! I did see this. I don't know if you sent it to me, but I did see that. That's hilarious.
He did like the Stutzel tape job last week or something like that, and I'm like, how did you make this like an 8-minute? I think it was like an 8-minute video. I'm like, how the hell did you make this?
That's awesome.
And
there's a video. Sorry to jump in. There's a video on YouTube that I really want to watch, but I haven't watched it yet. I think the guy's name is Zach Greinke. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's how did Zach Greinke become the weirdest player in the MLB? It's 20 minutes long, and I don't want to watch it. If it was like 5 minutes, I would totally watch it. But like 20 minutes, I'm like, I'm not clicking that. He's a pitcher, and apparently he's weird. I don't know anything else about it, and I want to watch the video, but it's 20 minutes, and I'm not doing that.
That's like for our fan. That's the exact same shit as our fans saying, just like, oh, that podcast is an hour long.
Yeah. I'm not listening to those idiots. Those guys don't even know who scored on the Devils game the other day. I think they played the Predators, for Christ's sakes.
These guys don't know anything about hockey. Speaking of hockey, I got a bunch of the guys I work with play hockey, and they keep asking me like, "Oh, you ever played yet?" I'm like, "No," and
I keep getting asked to play too.
Yeah,
I keep pushing it off.
Just waiting for the vaccine. Plus, you have the coming. So, I can't wait to get back on. But I was just telling Chris, I got my mask right here, and there's gonna be a day where like I'm gonna say yes. And I'm gonna like stop packing my shit and be like, oh my god, my mask.
It's gonna be the mask of shame because this isn't the mask that I use regularly, so this will stay. If Matt ever forgets it, I have a plain white CCM one that I wear, so it'll be the mask of shame when one of us doesn't put our mask back. You gotta wear the fucking white one right there.
No, I'm just saying, man. Like when I like pack my stuff and I got like 10 minutes to leave to the rink, and I'm packing my
you're
stuff,
gonna think
and I'm
you don't
like,
bring
oh,
that
shit,
from my house.
My mask,
Yeah.
That's
funny.
something you can't miss. I told you about.
You can't play without a mask. Yeah.
No, you can't really do that. It's not the 70s anymore. I can't be doing that.
70s, Jesus.
Terry Sawchuk did it, man, and you see his face. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, brutal.
Fuck
Disgusting.
that. I can't
Frankenstein.
I can't imagine. No, you'd be dead now. Dead. But yeah, fuck no. I used to only one time I forgot my cup. Did you ever forget a cup?
That's not even a joke, dude. I would borrow someone's cup before I would play with
wear
that
one.
You're an idiot.
I was scared.
Idiot.
Shitless.
You wouldn't even play well.
No, I didn't, because I had my block.
You would just let everything in.
Pretty much, because anytime like I see a shot come low, the blocker would be in the way, and I'd be like, so go block it.
You wear the players and the goalie cup?
I do, yeah.
Which one did you forget?
So this is before I moved.
Okay. You wore the one.
I was just wearing the one. So then like that was
Jesus,
rough.
dude.
I had
That.
I had a kid I played high school with that
A lot of players choose not to wear one.
no,
Like, you're an
it's
idiot.
interesting.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, right. Goalies are different.
Even in lacrosse, when I played out, I would always
Really?
wear a cup. A lot of players didn't wear one then. I'm like, no, dude, I'm not getting hit with that thing.
I don't get players who don't wear like at least shoulder pads or something. Like you see those guys that just get on. You're like,
Men's league?
fuck yeah.
No shoulder pads. There's no reason for them. I wear them personally, but you can do so. You have so much more room to like maneuver. You know what I mean? Like your body just moves differently when you don't have them on.
I've caught guys because when I handle the puck, I try to get it out. I've caught guys like in the chest, and like you can feel. Not feel, but like you can hear the puck just hitting bone, and you're like, Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, like
Yeah.
why aren't you wearing a chest?
And that's
man?
from a goalie. Like think about like an actual defenseman winding up for
Just
a
winding up.
one-timer,
Imagine
you
like
know?
no chest protector, and you're like, I got this.
And like even like the puck riding up a stick, if you're going to like poke the defenseman as he goes to one time and it rides up. I think it was a player on my team. I wasn't there the night of, but he has like all fake teeth that he can just take out. It's like a retainer basically with 4 fake teeth.
Right.
And he went to poke the puck as the dude was ripping it, and it rode up his stick and right into the teeth.
Oh,
knocked all 4 of them out.
Jesus.
That's fucked.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Speaking of coming up the stick, have you ever, when holding the stick, have you ever had the puck come up and get you in the finger?
No, I'm not an idiot.
I haven't gotten that one either.
I was just kidding. I thought it was going to be you
No,
that got
because
it.
I had like a legit like question about that.
Some
'cause
people do get it.
What's the they call it the block or something like that? It's a thing. It's like a rubber thing that you could put on the top of your paddle of the stick.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so like when the puck does come up, it like stops it from
That's
going
funny.
up because your finger is like so like
Fragile?
just so fragile that like a puck will come up and just like shatter your finger. But I've never had that issue.
No, yeah, me either. I think a lot of them have like blocker protection here and here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know. I don't
know.
usually get hit there either
Me neither.
because my block is usually the blade of my stick. Instead of like holding it like this, I angle it like that. So I'm always like my elbows up here too.
Right.
So I get like the lift too. I don't know.
I don't know. Because I've seen it. I'm like, why does anyone want that? And then I saw Casimir. I think that same video Casimir was.
Well,
putting
he's
one
also
on.
facing like NHL shots. Like I don't know. I'd probably do things differently if I was in the NHL.
Just make sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Like imagine having to miss like 4 weeks because of a broken finger.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Fuck that. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You just be like, well, it doesn't work. All it would take is just that one shot, I guess.
Yeah, especially against those guys.
Damn. Oh my God. So this week I've been I started a new job. New run for my job.
Yeah.
And man, my alarm goes off at like 3:40 in the morning every day. So I'm just fucking exhausted every day. So like, I'll go home and I try not to take a nap because I'm 8 o'clock. It's like bedtime. But by like 4:35, I go to the gym and I'm trying to find different music. And I showed you one. I'm going through like NHL 13
yeah.
soundtracks.
You sent me a song and you're like NHL banger, and any song on an NHL track list is like not a banger to me because I listen to it so many times playing the game that
You
like,
just hate it?
I hate this song, dude. You know what I mean? It's like you've just listened to it too many times. Even if it's a good song, it's like, holy shit, I ran that song into the ground. I can't listen to this right now.
That's totally different for me, man. Like there's so many NHL 21 songs that like
They do make a good track list.
Yeah, that like I hate. See, this is different in a sense. It's different from me. So NHL 21. Go ahead. Usually you pick great times. Dusted. So usually for me, especially NHL 21, the songs will come on. I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, but then like the more like you keep hearing, you're like, oh no, I like this now. And so I think it's, if anyone can put in the comments what it is, I think it's NHL 13 because that was the last one I had. Yeah, I think it was NHL 13 was like the last NHL game I had before NHL 21. It's the same thing over and over again, and I couldn't get into it, but I'm hooked on NHL 21. Anytime I try to, anytime I have time to play it, I'll definitely play it. Oh, it's called Young the Giant, My Body. And I've been hooked. Oh, and for the NHL 21 song that I've been hooked on too is the Friday Pilots Club, Look Better in Gold. I'm sure once you look that up, you'll be like, yep, this guy knows what he's doing. This guy's got it. So usually I have something to like kill some time while Chris is up there, doing his thing. But right now I don't, and I don't know what the hell to rattle off. You know what I could say is that for the listeners now, I did change our YouTube channel name to Around the Boards. Actually, for the listeners for Spotify and Apple, now that I'm at it, we changed our name from Posttopostpod on YouTube to Around the Boards. And with that, it's easier for everyone to find us. You just type in Around the Boards and we come up. And with that, we can do a lot more content on there. I just gotta get the time to do it, but I definitely want to do it. Like especially when we go back into playing hockey, I'm gonna get the GoPro back on, and I do want to find what are those things that you can clip on and you can record yourself talking.
A microphone?
Yeah, get a mic so you can actually hear me and just like I could talk. While,
Is that what you're trying to say?
I guess I don't know what the hell it's called. Oh, okay. Recorder or something like that.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
okay. Just do that and like I think you've seen a bunch of. I guess if you're a goalie, you've seen a bunch of them like Goalie Crease Net, and they have Trefoilers. They do those, and that'd be cool. Just more content for you guys instead of like. If you don't just want like the hour podcast, we'll have like.
Matt's
stuff.
been posting really cool like 1 minute clips on Instagram. He's found like really good times of like. We have 1 minute where we really just nailed something quick, and it's just nice to send out to you guys too. So
right.
If you want little highlights, little snippets, we have it there too.
Definitely. I gotta get better at that. Last week when I was editing, when Billy sent me the first edit, I gotta write it down because I was telling myself like during that edit just jot down times so you could just go back and just do it.
Right.
And I've like when I was doing that, I had to rewatch the entire thing again. I'm like. Well, when I edit that, I could just like do it. But this is all again. This is our first time.
Even having timestamps like in our Spotify description or Apple description helps too. Like you could be like 1:35 to 2:40 Kyle Palmieri Travis Zajac trade, and then like 2:40 to 3:50 is Canucks. You know what I mean? COVID-19.
You know what I thought of too? Not with that, but timestamps for YouTube videos. You know how like YouTube videos on like the bottom. Bar or whatever, it's broken up.
Yep.
I gotta figure out how to do that.
That's the same thing. You could. Oh, I know what you mean. It's
so
already
like you
there.
scroll and be like, oh, okay, this is when they talk about the Kyle Palmieri Travis Zajac trade.
I don't know how it works, but I want to bet that it's the same way that Spotify and Apple like you write them in the description, but then on YouTube when you write them in the description of the timestamps, they pop up on the bar for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I bet that's how it works. We'll see.
I'll have to look more into that. I don't know. I'll look more into it when we do this episode. But yeah, I finally figured out a way to get clips of this on our Instagram.
20 episodes, kind of nuts, huh?
Is that insane? Holy shit.
When did we start? December?
December-ish?
That's nuts.
Right? Did we start like right after Christmas? Something like that?
Maybe right after Thanksgiving.
First
week of December. Oh, we started World Juniors, right? Was that like our first
World
episode,
Juniors.
maybe?
No.
Jerseys, retro jerseys.
We started retro jerseys and then World Juniors. Yeah, so this
Probably
is
right
like,
after Thanksgiving.
right
I
after
wanna say.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, for sure. I still remember. I always think about the time where just like, because Tara brought it up to me. She asked, "What episode are you guys on?" I was like, "Oh, 20." She goes, "Oh my god." I was like, "Yeah, right, 20 episodes."
That's like a decent number. You know what I mean?
It is. It's decent. And then you look at like other like podcasts, they're like, "Whoa, we're on episode 449." You're like, "Oh Jesus, here we go."
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I mean, if you think about it, we're doing once a week. We haven't taken any weeks off, so 52 episodes a year.
Right.
Pretty solid.
Pretty solid. We're good. And this is all like a learning process for us. We try to get better and better the more we do it.
Yeah, I'd say and like and too much, so working on that.
God. There's this one episode that we did that if we can edit those out, like just be like, can you put a beep every time I say beep, 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 beep.
Or like a count, yeah.
Like
I said, or like a count, like fucking idiot, dude. Or a swear count too.
Oh my god.
You know how umpires have like
the clickers?
the clicker, yeah, like one of those.
gotta do that.
Count, like yep.
I wonder if Bill could put like
Sick.
one of those counters like the bottom
Bing,
left
bing, bing,
of it,
bing,
like,
bing, bing, bing. I'm gonna put that this week. I think. Let's see if he'll do it.
See if you do
A
it.
like, and count
Just
for both
find,
of
like,
us.
random shit.
Right at the bottom here, under the table. What's your guess this episode? What number?
For what? Ums?
All of them. Likes, and for both of us at the bottom of the
Holy
screen. What's the number going to look like
shit.
right now?
1.
That one doesn't count because it's in the sentence. Like.
Fuck. This is gonna be good to edit.
This will be funny.
So I'll just
It's going to be a lot of
jot
work for him. I don't know if he's going to do it or not, but it'd be hilarious to
things
see.
down. If not, I'll do it for when I do the editing because I'll just like sit
Yeah,
there
yeah.
and just like,
Here's the number.
go.
Yeah.
I'll say 18. 18 times.
Oh, my God. I'm going to say 92.
For me?
Us together.
Oh.
What's your number?
I still say 18.
Okay.
I'll write it down.
It's at 92. We'll see.
So me 18 times, and then Chris is. You said 92.
92.
Jeez.
I said it a lot. Like the word like, and I think 92. I did a lot today.
Like, and what?
I say that a lot. Like I'm from Wisconsin,
Don't ya know? All right, so that's a list. Everyone gets to see.
Yeah, have fun, Billy.
Yeah, good luck, Billy. I'm not doing it.
Sit.
Fuck! Add that to the list. We're trying to get better, man. So when I was in college, I still remember my English teacher. Her name was Brittany Greco, and she was awesome. You know
Way to
how
just
like
put her whole info out there.
who fucking cares? She was a great teacher. Great teacher, man. You know how they have like just great teachers and you just remember them? She was helping us back when we weren't doing this. So like public speech was just like, why the hell am I doing this?
Public speaking is like the best thing you could take.
Right. And she, for the year or two that I was with her, like I had no ums in any of like my sentences, and now I'm back to doing it. So
No way.
now,
So like during the class, you didn't say like
Nothing.
anything like
nothing,
that.
because
Wow.
she would stop you.
Oh yes, she would interrupt
her
you.
thing
Yeah.
would stop you and be like, redo it. And I'm like, what? And like, redo it. Like, it could be like the end of like whatever report you do.
You just said like 3
Redo it.
times, dude. You just said
I
like
did
3
it!
times.
no!
Every other word was like. I used to do that all the time.
I already passed 18 then.
Fuck. I can't wait to see what the actual number is. This is hilarious. And I want the number to go all the way to the end of the episode too.
If I do it, I'm most likely going to be doing it. I know Billy's going to watch this and be like, I'm not
Fuck
doing
these
that
guys.
shit. Yeah. If I do it,
Muppets.
should I do 3 of the counters? So like
No.
one for
one
like, and
counter for likes, and that are unnecessary. So you know how I said the word what it would look like? That doesn't count. It's got to be like an unnecessary like. It's got to. My sentence right there could have been, it's got to be an unnecessary like, and I said it's got to be like an unnecessary like.
Okay, gotcha.
So that one counts, but the end one doesn't. You understand?
You're putting me to work.
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Putting me to work.
Putting Billy to work.
That's gonna
Hopefully,
be
we'll
fun.
see.
No. I was thinking like a shot for every time we do
You were
it.
thinking like a shot, or you were thinking a shot?
What'd I say?
I was thinking like a shot for every time we do it. You see, dude, you don't even think about it, and we do
I
it.
just do it.
And that's what people have to deal with.
Especially like Spotify. Like you're not seeing this, so all you're doing is like in your car listening.
Wait,
and be like, this dude.
All you're doing is like in your car, or are you in your car? Brutal, dude. If you did it to me all episode, I would have been toast. I butchered this episode. Fact.
The fact that you're calling me out, though, I think it's more than 18 now. I got fucking
it's way more,
roasted
dude.
on
Like,
this.
I might be low. That was an unnecessary like.
I want to go back to that episode that I hated and just see like what it is.
Go count the ums. I don't. We didn't call that episode out, so.
No, we didn't. So no one knows.
Yeah, but.
So don't go back and watch it. Don't go back. Don't do it.
I think they might know. I got Dr. Butterscotch this week. And then next week is McGillicuddy Mint, and then I got to look for more. He's going to buy more this weekend.
Oh my god, and it's going to be so much better. I got the Thompson, whatever the shit.
Old Thompson.
I guarantee you this is terrible. American whiskey. I can't wait. This is the last one. Everyone.
What are you going to do, you think?
Definitely not this shit. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to your store tomorrow.
Have you had 99? So they're all 49.5 proof or something like that. So they're 99 proof. Or no, sorry, 99 proof and 49.5% alcohol. And there's a variety pack that has like 12 different flavors, and it's all vodka.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I might do that.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one you had in here that froze?
Nope.
Those the ones like all sugar?
Nope, that was Doctor's. Because I had Doctor's Grape and Doctor's Cherry that froze. Is that what you're thinking of?
No, I'm picturing something. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I forget.
But
if you don't do them, I will, so.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to the store tomorrow anyway and see what's going on. So,
cheers, buddy.
Cheers, buddy. Cheers to episode 20.
20 in the books. Have you ever had the butterscotch, dude?
No.
It's kind of weird. It's like very syrupy, very thick.
Dude, no. This is going to be the last time people see me this fuck. Oh, my God.
I hope so. What do you think out of all the ones you did was the worst one? I know you're going to say that one because it's this week.
No, last week's episode.
Canadian?
The Canadian one?
Was it Canadian Club? No.
No, it was Canadian LTD or something.
Yes, Canadian LTD, yeah. That was worse?
That was the worst one. This is...
Second?
Strong second. Yeah, I can't... This was the worst fucking decision I've ever made in my life. I remember going to the packing and it was just like, hey, I just want to try a bunch of whiskeys. And I'm like, I might find some of these good. The only one that I liked was the fucking Red Label. Everything else was fucking...
Remember the Howler Head I brought to your house? That thing was good.
Who? Which one?
The Howler Head. The one week I came by and we all shared one nip like weirdos.
Oh, yeah. That was actually
good. It was
good.
like banana something. Banana nut, maybe?
Yeah, that was a weird one, but it was good.
Peanut butter banana? I don't know.
What was the other one? We tried the... I fucking refused to finish it. It's the Jameson...
Cold brew.
Castle Island.
Oh, you don't like beer, so...
It was disgusting.
It was IPA aged in a Jameson barrel. Ugh. I think Matt thought it was going to taste like whiskey, but...
It didn't. It just tasted like...
It's beer.
It tasted like beer that was brewed in a whiskey barrel. That's
exactly what it was.
That's exactly what it was. But yeah, you're right. In my head, I was like, "This is gonna taste like Jameson mixed with beer," when it just wasn't.
Even that probably wouldn't be good though. Like if you took Jameson and poured it in a Coors Light, like that wouldn't be good.
No, want to try it?
No, no, thank you. For you listeners at home, give it a whirl and let us know what you think.
Because we're not fucking doing it. I might do it. Ugh, never mind.
Ugh. You all good, buddy?
I'm good.
All right, guys. Thanks, everyone, for listening. If there's anything you want to see us cover next episode, let us know. Our links are in the description, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye, guys.